Hi, welcome back to the Brave in the Attempt podcast. I'm your host, Wyatt Spalding, and today we're joined by Rachel Mulligan. Rachel, how's it going?
Great.
Yeah, so Rachel and I, we're on several committees together in Special Olympics. Rachel's on some national committees as well, and is a well-known athlete in Special Olympics Nebraska. Rachel, you mind sharing all the sports you do for Special Olympics?
Sure. So I participate in a lot of different sports. It's quite the list. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm involved in bowling, basketball, cross country skiing, snowshoeing, powerlifting, bocce, track and field, and soccer and swimming.
Nice. I bet that's pretty busy with all the seasons and everything.
Yes.
What would you say is your three favorite sports?
My three favorite sports are swimming, powerlifting, and cross country skiing.
Oh, that's awesome. So, why don't you share a little bit like just growing up and then how, as you grew up, you got involved or knew about Special Olympics?
Okay. So I'm originally from Southern California. Um, I my father was actually in the Navy, so I moved around a lot, and
Mm.
we were stationed in Nebraska, and then we he got stationed in Washington State. So we wanted when his term was up, we really wanted to come back to Nebraska. So we kind of have moved back here and called our Nebraska our home.
Yeah.
um, so I actually got involved with Special Olympics through a family friend in 2011. We kind of weren't aware that I could qualify for Special Olympics because the schools haven't really gotten the word out. So
Mhm. So, growing up, like, would you mind sharing like what your disability is or
yeah.
what you kind of struggled with growing up?
So I have a developmental disability.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it was really hard because I don't really understand a lot of things, big kind of medical terms, things. I also have like a fine motor condition, so like grasping things is kind of hard. Just like certain activities are kind of hard for me to do because of my wrist, my
Okay. You say grasping things are hard. I would never notice because you do powerlifting. I mean, you gotta grasp the bar. So, do you wear anything on your hands so you can grab the bar to lift?
So the only thing we use is it's kind of like a white powder. It's actually called chalk. So we use
Okay.
that. We also basic. So they also my coach has had my have me work on kind of my grip strength, and that
Oh,
really kind of helps with gripping the bar and not having it slip from your hands.
oh yeah, I bet. Especially if, like you said, you have trouble grasping things and grabbing stuff. I bet that was that pretty hard for you, like when you started powerlifting, because of the grabbing of the bar, or not really?
It was pretty hard. I wasn't basically at the beginning. They were using a lot of weight with me, and
Mm-hmm.
one of my coaches noticed like some of the bars were really hard. It's a little hard because the bar is a little bigger than my hands. I have very small hands, so that's kind of one of the disadvantages for me for powerlifting.
Okay. So going back to like just growing up, like how did your disability affect like your social life, or was it not a problem for when you went to school? What was your adversity growing up? Just dealing with like all the things you deal with your disability.
So I was probably very social. Um,
That's good.
the schools were a little bit tricky. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was basically in elementary school put into special education classes. And then I've had some really great teachers, and then I actually was told by my parents, like, there were a few situations that popped up. There was one time, I think, one school, like, um, instead of having me, like, do some of the work at the other students, I got kind of put off to the side, and my parents were like, no, we want her to try, like, I the work. And then I think there was like a psychologist that told me I couldn't really go to like college. Um, the in high school it was I was a lot shyer. Um, I was kind of more because I wanted to kind of go out for sports teams in high school, but a lot of them have tryouts, and I just had this fear like, am I going to be able to make it, or am I going to be told that you can't play?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I struggle with that too. I think a lot of us with disabilities do because it's like, we're kind of a little uncoordinated. We're not as strong or as big as some of the other athletes. And you're like, well, getting cut, it's never a good feeling. But yeah, I mean, I bet that was hard. Like, teachers too, like we could do the work. Maybe it takes us longer than the other students, but it's like we can get it done. And I don't know about you, but did you do better? Like I did better one on one, like trying to figure out like a math problem or something. Did you do better one on one usually, like in tests or just trying to do homework and everything?
So I kind of did a lot better with one on one, and then I think during high school or college, I think we kind of figured out like if you started like reading the test, if it's like a test, reading the questions to
Mm.
me kind of helped out too.
Yeah, same. I would have the teacher read the question to me because it's like it just feels better when like someone else is reading it to you, and then like you read it in your head, but it's like that doesn't like to me it like didn't sound right. So I was like, oh, I don't know. Like for me, I didn't know the question, but yeah, I mean, it's great. Like your parents stuck up for you, and that I mean, because like your parents, I bet that helped. Like they see what you could do every day because obviously you live with them, and did you sit in on any of those meetings with your teachers and try to explain to them like I can do the work, or was it just your parents that went?
I think I kind of sat in the meetings, but I the big thing with me growing up was I kind of struggled with self advocating, so my parents kind of did a lot of that for me when I was growing up.
Okay, nice. Well, then you said you said a psychologist thought you'd never go to college. You said, is that right?
Yeah,
That's cool
my
that because you did. You just graduated from UNO, right?
yes.
Awesome. Well, congrats. And
Yeah.
how did that come about? So did you know what you wanted to do when you got to UNO, or did you kind of just take some classes and then declare your major?
So I started taking classes at Metro, and I kind of was still kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to take. And then my parents had read about the program um, at UNO, so I applied and then got it. And then I kind of just figured out like what my interests were, and that kind of helped me find my major.
So what was your major?
My major is criminal justice and art.
Oh, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of your favorite classes that you took at
Uh,
UNO?
so, for art, my favorite classes were I took an art history class, and the professor I had was really, really great. And then for criminal justice, I really liked police and society and homicide, and then they also had a women's kind of in criminal justice class that was pretty interesting to learn about.
Oh, awesome. Was it easier for you to like advocate for yourself in college and you get what you needed to succeed in your classes?
Yeah, so Metro was a little I think there was one situation with the instructor, but Metro was a little different because they would send like an email with your access but I did unfortunately I had one instructor to not read his emails and he didn't know about that. UNO was when I transferred to UNO it was a little bit better because we were able to kind of more self-advocate um with the accessibilities and the classes were a little different. I still was doing like the work. I just didn't fully get graded on it. So that was kind of more where the accessibilities were we were able to use more of the accessibilities.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad like it worked out for you more as you went on into your higher education. So, would you say like going to college and then also like, graduating high school, obviously, just going through all those rough times and just school or social life, did Special Olympics have a big part of helping you build your confidence?
Yeah, so Special Olympics definitely played a big role. Um, my parents kind of noticed I started finding my voice for Special Olympics. Um, I think the really big thing was once I graduated Alps, I think just getting me used to speaking to different groups. I think that really helped boost my confidence.
Yeah, I think it helps with a lot of Special Olympics confidence. Like definitely mine too. Like the both of us, like you don't think you have a story to tell because like we're just average people, and yeah, we just have these disabilities. But then Alps, they kind of really bring out a lot of our confidence. Like yeah, we confident in the playing field because we do our sports, but to get up in front of people, that's a whole different thing. But I think Alps, the speaking program, really helps not just the two of us, but just thousands of athletes and just help them find their voice and do great things like you did, like go to college and get your major and education all situated and everything. And I think it's great that you went through that. What was it like when you gave your first speech for Alps?
I would honestly say it was very I was very nervous. um I wasn't really sure like how many people were in the room, what um kind of was a little unsure what people thought of my speech, and I was like, it's actually when I started speaking, it actually um my nervousness kind of went away, and I kind of got used to it after the more I kind of did. I wasn't really used to it at first.
Yeah, for sure. When I gave mine for graduation, my like right leg was like shaking the entire time. It's like nerve wracking, but it's a pretty cool feeling, isn't it? When it's all over and you're like, man, I just, gave a speech and shared my story and people liked it. Was that a pretty cool feeling?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, is there a Special Olympic event or moment that you remember that just really gave you the confidence, whether in when you started or recently, where you like won a gold or anything, and your confidence just like really spiked up?
I would have to say, it was the big, I think, confidence booster was probably when I went to 2017 when I went to Austria for cross country
Mm.
skiing. Um, I did very very well um, in skiing, and I think just meeting new. There was kind of a bunch of so one of the neat things was we got to trade pens with the different countries, and just
Cool.
meeting new athletes from the different countries was pretty neat. That actually kind of I think boost my social confidence a little bit. It kind of, I think some athletes starting to notice more that I was starting to kind of slowly come out of my shell a little bit more when we were in Austria.
That's awesome that you got to go to Austria. So you went
Yeah.
to Austria, and then I think one of the times I first kind of remember meeting you was we both went to the 2018 USA Games.
Yes.
So we did that. And have you been to, and then you went to the 2022 USA Games recently for powerlifting, right?
Yes.
How'd you do in that?
I did very well. I got the gold in overall, and then I placed two silvers in squat and dead, and in bench I placed got a bronze.
Awesome. And then you remember how you did in the 2018 USA Games in track?
um, I got six in the 200. We had a little mix up.
Mm-hmm.
We placed third in the relay. I placed third in the 400, and then I got fifth in javelin.
Oh, that's all right. Javelin's hard to throw.
Yeah.
I'm not as good as you, but I did it like just for like your local track, and it's just like, wow, this is harder than I thought. And it's just a plastic thing, but it's still like big,
Yeah.
heavy. So now that you've graduated college and everything, what's next for you? What's your next big goal you're setting for yourself?
So kind of the next big goals I have is I'm gonna be moving into my own place, so that's pretty exciting. Um, and then I was kind of thinking about once I gave it a little bit of time, maybe going back to school and maybe actually seeing if I can get a degree either in museum curating or criminal justice. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Mhm.
I credit you for wanting to go back to school. Unlike me, I like couldn't wait to get out of school. But I think it's great that you go back and just educate yourself
Yeah.
and everything. That's awesome. And are you pretty excited about moving into your own place? Or a little nervous, or both?
I'm kind of both. I'm excited
Yeah.
because basically I live in my parents' basement and I constantly have to go up and down the stairs for things I need. So
Yeah.
once I move in, I don't have to worry about that. I'm a little nervous because right now, I'm still kind of trying to figure things out, but they'll kind of come
Mhm.
as we're getting ready to um settle in and kind of move in.
Yeah. Same. I live in my parents' basement too, and it's like, I guess like it feels like your own spot, but not really, because your parents own the house.
Yeah.
But then like too, you're moving into an apartment, right?
Yes.
Is it like okay? Yeah. I always thought that was better because it's smaller, not a big plate to clean. Like I don't know about you, but I see my parents do everything that it takes to keep up a house. And I'm just like, yeah, I think I'd rather live in an apartment. I don't want to do all this extra work that takes with a house. So I think you'll do great, though.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for you to move out. So,
Mhm.
well, thanks again, Rachel, for joining us on the Brave in the Attempt podcast. And, we'll look forward to following you and all your successes in school and your job and just being a voice for Special Olympics.
Okay.
So, thank you.
You're welcome.